Okay, so Unit 7, Life Under the Sea. The first word that we have here is the word minority, or the word minority. It's a noun, it means a smaller number within a larger group of people or things. So, minority, it means the smaller number within a group. Let's imagine that we have a class and there are 20 students in that class. And 18 of them have black hair and only 2 students have red hair. So I'm gonna say that the students who have red hair are a minority, okay? And the sentence that we have here, most of the Egyptian people have black hair, but the minority have a red hair. And then the second word that we have here is the word document. Document, it's a verb. It means to write about something or to take a photograph of something in order to record information. What does it mean, document? Document, it means, for example, you have your brother graduating from college, you have a wedding, you have a special moment, you have an important moment, and you want to record that moment. Okay, you want to keep that moment forever, so you're going to document that moment. You're going to document that moment. What does it mean? Document, it means to record that moment. Okay, to record that moment by taking a picture, by recording a video, by writing about it, and so on. And the sentence that we have here, I documented this beautiful wedding by taking many photos of every detail. And then majority, this is the antonym of the word minority. Okay, so majority is the opposite of the word minority. Majority, it means most of the people or things in a group. Remember the example of the class. Okay, when you have that class and we said that 18 of the students have black hair, so I'm gonna say that the 18 students who have black hair out of the 20 students are the majority. But the 2 students who have the red hair are a minority. They are the smaller number within this group. And the sentence that we have here, the majority of Egyptian people are funny ones, it means that most of the Egyptian people are funny. And then the coming word is the word exaggerated. Okay, it's an adjective. If something is exaggerated, it is described as better, larger, ADC than it really is. Or exaggerated, it means when you describe something, for example, you have something huge and you describe it as a very small thing. You're very poor, or your friend is very poor, and you're saying that your friend is super rich. So this is exaggerated. You're not telling me the truth. Okay, you're making something better or worse. And the sentence that we have here, describing this tiny house as a palace is too exaggerated. It means that, for example, you have a tiny house, a very small house, and you're saying that this tiny house, this very small house, is a palace, is a very huge place. It was too exaggerated. It wasn't the truth. Okay, and then we have the word roam. Roam, it means to walk or to travel without any clear purpose. Usually when you leave your house, you know that you're going to a certain place or you have a certain destination. But roam, it means that you're leaving your house and you're bored. You have no place to go. You don't have a certain place in mind to go to. So you're roaming, you're walking in the street without going to a certain place because you're bored or you don't have something to do or whatever. Like when I say you should not let your children roam the streets, it will be dangerous for them. You shouldn't let your children walk in the street without going to a certain place, especially at night, of course, because it's gonna be dangerous for them. And then moving to the following page, we have the word evolve. Evolve, this is a verb. It means to develop. When you have a process, and this process consists of many steps. Evolve, it means having developed through a gradual process, and the sentence, you're gonna understand the meaning of this word from that sentence. Like when I say the size of televisions has evolved since 1995, they used to be huge, but they are much smaller now. What does it mean? When they first come up with televisions, they were bulky, they were very huge, they were very big. But now, that size started to evolve, started to develop. They started to become more, or they started to become smaller. So here we have what? We have a process of evolving. We have a process of evolving. Okay. So evolve, it means to develop through a process when you have like many steps through the same or in the same process. And then we have the word expert. Expert. Okay, expert, it means somebody or somebody who has a special skill or knowledge of a subject. Expert, it means when I say that this person is an expert, it means that he's really good at doing something, he's skillful, he's skilled, and also he has a lot of information about this subject. Like the sentence that we have here, Rania knows much information about food, she's an expert in nutrition. And first, the word nutrition, it means knowing what to eat, what should you eat, what shouldn't you eat, and so on. This is the meaning of the word nutrition. So I'm saying that this person is an expert in nutrition because she knows a lot of information about it. She knows a lot of information about food in general. Okay, since she knows a lot of information about food, she is going to tell you that you should eat this, you shouldn't eat this, when should you eat this, okay, what is healthy for you, what is unhealthy, and so on. And then after this, we have the word consensus. Consensus, this is an opinion that everyone in a group agrees with or accepts. Consensus, let's be very clear, it means agreement. It means agreement. When you have a group of people having the same opinion, or when you have a group of people agreeing on the same thing. Like when I say we argued for 3 hours but we reached a consensus at the end, it means that those people, for example, they were having a meeting and they were arguing, they were fighting for 3 hours, and then at the end they agreed at the same thing, or they reached a consensus. They reached a consensus. Okay? And then after this, we have the word immune. What does it mean, immune? Immune, the definition also is a very good one. It's to the point. It means someone who's immune to a particular disease. If someone is immune to a particular disease, cannot catch it. Do you remember we have this kind of disease that all of us, I think, like, or most probably a lot of people or a lot of children used to have when they were little, chickenpox. That disease, when you have like spots on your skin when you were little, especially in the summer. Okay, once you have this disease, you're gonna be immune for life. What does it mean you're gonna be immune for life? It means that if you got or if you caught that disease one time, it means that you're gonna be immune for life. You're not gonna catch it again. You're gonna be immune for life. It means that you're not gonna catch it again. Once we have had this disease, or once we have had the disease, we're immune for life. And then we have immune system, the system by which your body protects itself against disease. Immune system, it's a system in your body that protects your body against any kind of possible disease, against any kind of possible disease. Like when I say my immune system is not as strong as it ought to be. Okay, immune system, it means that the system that is responsible for fighting against any diseases. Okay, if your immune system is not gonna be strong, of course you're gonna have a lot of diseases. And then we have the word anatomy. Anatomy, it means studying the physical structure of people, animals, and plants. Anatomy, this is a science, and in this science you're going to study the structure or the physical structure of people, animals, and plants. For example, the anatomy, if you're gonna study the anatomy of people, you're going to study, okay, what do we have in this part? We have in this part the heart, and in this part or the upper part, we have the brain, and here we have bones, and here we have muscles, and here we have like the knee and the muscles and so on. Okay, so the anatomy, it means studying the physical structure of any creature. And the sentence that we have here, we have an anatomy class about birds today. We are going to know about the different parts of birds. Anatomy class, it means that they are going to study the physical structure of birds. And because they are going to do this, they are going to know the different parts of the birds. For example, this part, the upper part of the bird, is called dots, and the lower part is called dots, and that part is called dots, and so on. And then after the word anatomy, we have the word predator. What does it mean, predator? Predator, it means an animal that kills and eats other animals. And the antonym of this word is the word prey. Prey, it means the animal that is hunted or the animal that is killed. So we have two antonyms here. Predator, the animal that kills and eats other animals. And prey, the animal that is hunted or the animal that is killed. And the sentence that we have here, and of course all of you know a lot of examples for predators or predators, like the lion, like the eagle, and so on. The eagle is a predator that flies through the air to attack its prey. Okay, so the eagle is a kind of animal that kills other animals by flying in the air and attacking the other animals, the prey. Okay, and then okay, we have the word unwarranted. Unwarranted, what does it mean, unwarranted? Unwarranted, it's an adjective. It means done without a good reason and therefore annoying. Unwarranted, it means, or when you describe something as unwarranted, it means that you did something and you did it without a good reason. Without a good reason, there wasn't a need to do this thing. Don't worry, Mom, I closed the door so no thief can enter the house. Relax, your fear is unwarranted. So your mother is always worried about having a thief in the house or about having a thief entering your house. And she's telling you, hey, did you close the door? Hey, did you close the windows? And you've done all of this. So why is she supposed to be afraid? Okay, her fear here is unwarranted, is illogical. How a thief is going to enter your house and you have your doors and your windows closed? Okay, it's illogical, right? The thief is not going to enter your house. So here, the fear of the mother is unwarranted, illogical, without a reason, without a good reason. And then after this, the last word of this unit is the word dissipate. Dissipate, it's a verb. It means when you have something like a smoke or something that is becoming less or becoming weaker, and at the end or eventually is going to disappear completely. So dissipate, to gradually become less or weaker before disappearing completely. The smoke was gradually dissipated by the breeze. First, the word breeze, it means the light wind. There was someone in the room smoking, and this smoke started to dissipate, started to become less, started to become weaker until it disappeared completely because of the air, because of the breeze, because of the light wind. Okay. And we have these words, thriller, entertaining, amusing, or interesting, conclusion, findings, or results. We're going to study these words within the text, and of course they are very important. Okay, now we're moving to the text. We're reading the text. Okay, unit 7. Life under the sea. Sharks, misunderstood sea creatures. Whenever a person travels to a beach location, it's impossible not to think about what lays underneath the sea. Anyone that has ever visited the ocean or sea is familiar with shark attacks. Although sharks have attacked people, it's not as common as people generally believe or as the cinema has presented. It is a fact that only a small minority of shark species are known to attack humans. Only 20 species of more than 350 species have documented attacks on humans. Most shark attacks are done by tiger sharks, great white sharks, and bull sharks. The majority of shark attacks on humans happen within a few hundred meters offshore. That is where people are most likely usually gathered. Okay, so what is the main idea of that paragraph, or what is the writer trying to tell us in that paragraph? Okay, the writer is telling us that any person who goes to the sea or the ocean is familiar with shark attacks. What does it mean familiar with? It means that this person has heard about shark attacks. And at the same time, the writer is telling us that many people believe that shark attacks are very common. What does it mean, very common? Very common, it means that they are happening all of the time, as we have as what we have in cinemas, okay, or in films or movies. They are always telling us, okay, there are a lot of shark attacks, and that all of the sharks, okay, are predators and so on. And then, okay, so the writer is telling us that any person who goes to the beach or who goes to the sea is familiar with shark attacks. What does it mean familiar with? It means that this person has heard about shark attacks. Why? The writer tells us that shark attacks are not as common as people generally believe, or as cinemas has presented. The writer is telling us that shark attacks, okay, we have shark attacks, but they are not common. They don't happen all of the time as what people believe, or as what we have in cinemas. And then he's telling us that we have we have like 350 species kinds of sharks, but only a small minority, only a small number of these sharks, such as tiger sharks, great white sharks, and bull sharks, attack people. Okay, so these are like 20 of the 350 species. And then he's telling us that the shark attacks happen near the shore, okay? And near the shore, of course, you have a lot of people swimming and a lot of people doing a lot of sea activities, whether diving, snorkeling, windsurfing, and so on. So the shark attacks happen very near to the shore. And very near to the shore, this is the place where we have a lot of people gathered, when we have a lot of people standing together and doing whatever in the sea. And then Jaws, a thriller. What does it mean, thriller? Thriller, it means like a film that is full of exciting events and so on. An American production and a huge box office hit, was greatly responsible for spreading the fear of shark attacks. Although the film contains a large amount of fiction, it was based on true events. The film was set on the New Jersey coastline in 1916, where 4 people were killed. Jaws were highly entertaining, but contained many exaggerated and inaccurate facts about sharks. Okay, so the writer tells us that there is a film, and this film is called Jaws, and it's a thriller. Thriller, it means a film that is full of exciting events and so on. This thriller was a huge box office hit. It means that it was very successful and it made a lot of money in cinemas. It was responsible for spreading the fear of shark attacks. This film made a lot of people think, or made a lot of people afraid of sharks, and think that shark attacks happen all of the time. And then, although the film contains a large amount of fiction, it was based on true events. Okay, the film in that film, the story of that film, or the main story, is a true story, or is a true event. But inside this film, or in the film, there is a lot of fiction. What does it mean, fiction? Fiction, it means invented things, not real things. Okay, the writer is putting these events in order, for example, to make the movie more exciting, in order to make it more successful, okay, in order to convince people to see it, and so on. And this film, or the story of Jaws, or the real story of Jaws, happened in New Jersey coastline, okay? And in that story, 4 people, or in that place, 4 people were killed. And Jaws was very entertaining. Very entertaining. It means amusing. People loved watching this film. It contained many exaggerated and inaccurate facts about sharks. It contained many exaggerated facts. It means not real. Okay, he wasn't describing everything about sharks as it is supposed to be. He was adding some things. He was removing some things, and so on. So this was exaggerated, or the film contained exaggerated facts and at the same time inaccurate. Inaccurate, it means not true, okay, untrue. And then, according to scientists studying sharks is very interesting. There is evidence that suggests that sharks have lived under the oceans and seas of the world for millions of years. This means that sharks that swim in today's oceans live the same lives as sharks that lived more than 200 million years ago. This was even before dinosaurs roamed the planet. So, what do we have here? Scientists are trying to tell us an interesting fact about sharks, that sharks existed millions of years ago, and even before the existence of dinosaurs, even before dinosaurs roamed the planet, before dinosaurs started to walk, okay, on that planet. And then essentially, sharks have been around underwater for millions of years. Sharks are such highly evolved swimmers that they can travel hundreds of miles within a day. They are truly the original experts in underwater travel. We can say that, okay, sharks are kind of swimmers, or that they are just as human beings, but those swimmers, the sharks, are highly evolved swimmers. What does it mean, highly evolved swimmers? It means that they are more advanced. Why? Because they can travel like a big distance within a short time, within a day. So they are the true experts. Okay, they are the true ones. Okay, in underwater, the true ones who knows everything, or the true ones who are skilled in the underwater travel. And then sharks are very unique in their growth patterns. In comparison to other animals, sharks grow slowly. It is very common for sharks to reproduce every 2 years, which is very infrequent compared to other animals. They give birth to fewer than 10 at a time. Almost 60% of all sharks give birth to live young. The rest of the different species of sharks lay eggs. So we have interesting facts here also in this paragraph about sharks. It's speaking about the growth pattern and about the reproduction of sharks. First, he's telling us that the reproduction of sharks, or the duration of reproduction, is not very fast and not very quick. It's a slow one, because sharks reproduce every 2 years. Okay, and this is infrequent. This is not common in comparison with other animals. Other animals, they reproduce every like, when you have some animals, or some of the animals reproduce after I think 40 days, and some of them reproduce after like weeks, and some of them reproduce after months. Okay, but sharks, okay, they are very slow. They reproduce after 2 years, and this is infrequent. This is not common in comparison with other animals. And number two, they give birth to like 10 sharks during that pregnancy, or at once. Okay, and then this is really interesting, because he's telling us that, or the scientists are telling us that some of the sharks, they give birth in order to stay young. They reproduce in order to not to age, in order to always be young. And the rest of the different species of sharks lay eggs. So some of them give birth and some of them lay eggs. So in this paragraph, we've known a lot of interesting things about sharks. That okay, number one, that they reproduce every 2 years, and this is not common in comparison with other animals. Okay, this is not the same as other animals, because other animals reproduce quicker than this. Number two, that when they reproduce like 10 sharks during one pregnancy. Number three, that some of the sharks reproduce in order to stay young, and not all of the sharks give birth, but some of them, okay, lay eggs. And then one of the many reasons sharks are interesting to scientists is because sharks recover very quickly from injuries. Scientists and researchers are also studying the immune and defense system of a shark's body. Infections, cancer, and heart diseases seem to be absent from the shark population. Okay, and now we know that another thing that is really impressive about sharks, that when they have an injury, they recover quickly. When they have like a wound or a cut in their body, okay, they recover very quickly. They don't take time, or they don't spend a lot of time in order to be well, or in order to get better and so on. But they recover quickly. And the scientists are studying the immune system of the sharks. Why? Because they have found that the shark population, or that the sharks in general, okay, they don't have infections, they don't have cancer, they don't have heart diseases. What is that? This is really impressive. This is really good. They don't have any of these, okay, in their bodies. So this must be related to their immune system, and this is why, or that's why, the scientists are studying the immune system. And then after this, scientists are just now beginning to understand the importance of the shark's immune and defense systems to humans. The scientists are telling themselves, or they are supposing, that since sharks don't have infections, don't have cancer, don't have what? Don't have. Yes, heart diseases. It means that their immune system is a very strong one. Okay, and they are studying that immune system in order to understand how sharks don't have any of these. And at the same time, they are studying the immune system in order to use it, or in order to use it for the help of human beings who have cancer, or who have infections, who have heart diseases. So they are trying to think of ways that they get benefits, or they are trying to think of ways to get benefits from the immune system of sharks, to help human beings. And then a common belief in some cultures that is that shark cartilage can help prevent cancer and other diseases because of its unique because of its unique properties. Scientists have questioned this idea and have yet to come to a solid conclusion or consensus. Okay, until then, it's impossible to rule out that the secret to fighting cancer and other human diseases is hidden within the shark's anatomy. And in this part, we have something, or some of the people believe that something called shark cartilage. What does it mean, cartilage? Cartilage, this is a strong but a flexible material, okay, that is found in some parts of the body, or in some parts of the body of any shark. And this part, as we said, is a strong material, but at the same time flexible. It can be found in the nose. It can be found in the outer part of the ear. Okay, it can be found in the outer part of the ear. And some of them believe that that cartilage, or that shark cartilage, okay, can prevent, or is the reason for preventing cancer and other diseases in sharks. So this material is very valuable for scientists, right? And this material also is very valuable because of its unique properties, because of its special options. And then scientists started to have started to think about this idea. Okay, so the main thing in the immune system of sharks, which is responsible for protecting them from cancer, is it the shark cartilage? But they didn't come up to a solid conclusion. They didn't come up to a strong result, or to a strong finding. Okay, or consensus or agreement. They not all of the scientists agreed that this is the reason in sharks for not having cancer, or not all of the not all of the scientists were 100% sure that this was the reason for not having any disease or for not having cancers in sharks. And until now, it was impossible to rule out, it was impossible to finalize that the secret of fighting cancer and other human diseases, okay, it's hidden in the anatomy of sharks. It's hidden in their immune system or in their defense system. Nobody can rule out, nobody can finalize, nobody can tell. Okay, people, we can fight cancer by getting that material of sharks or by studying the shark anatomy. And then the last paragraph is, it is true that sharks can be dangerous, deadly creatures. However, humans are much more of a threat to sharks than are to humans. People are the sharks' biggest predators. Unfortunately, until the unwarranted fears surrounding sharks dissipate, human beings will continue to create villains out of these possible medical marvels. Okay, I agree with this paragraph here. The writer is telling us that yes, okay, sharks or some of the sharks can be dangerous and can be deadly. Okay, but the writer thinks that the predators or humans are more dangerous than sharks. Okay, they form or they are considered to be a threat to sharks. Why? Because you know that the shark is a predator, is an animal that kills and eats other animals or other creatures. But you never know, or you never tell, or you never know when is the human going to attack that shark. So here, who's the real predator? Okay, so humans, they can attack sharks at any time, and then it's telling you that the unwarranted fears surrounding sharks disappear. Yes. And at the end of this paragraph, he's telling you that okay, we should be afraid of sharks, but most of our fears are unwarranted. They are illogical. Okay, we are afraid of sharks without any good reason. Okay, and at the same time, he's telling us until these fears disappear, okay, human beings will create villains out of sharks. What does it mean, villains? Villains, it means that human beings are going to portray or are going to present sharks as evil creatures, villains. Okay, meanwhile, that sharks are considered to be medical marvels. What does it mean, medical marvels? Medical marvels, it means that they can do unbelievable things. Okay, scientists can use them, okay, in doing miracles, in helping a lot of people with different diseases. Okay, so sharks can be used in order to create or in order to do or make miracles or marvels within medicine and help a lot of people curing their diseases and so on.